Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world, alright, and welcome to the exciting Storms of Darkness in Dublin. This evening's scene will take place in Agrabah Nights, that eatery for the mystical, that place of nourishment for the otherwise arcane, that eatery at the edge of reality. So, we will join our collective individuals as they dine there. You may enter in whatever order you like, or you may simply be here. I don't mind.
Well, Collins will. Uh, is Callie with Collins right now? Is it date night? I think it's date night.
Yee.
So Collins will come through the curtain at Agrabah Nights, or rather, he will use his cane to open the curtain so that Miss Callie can walk on through, and then he will follow Callie in, and then they will gather up a bunch of pillows uh, and arrange kind of the seating area so that they may be comfortable before Collins at least unceremoniously flops down. And he pats the pillows next to him.
She just sits down, clicks her fingers, and like a pint glass of mead just appears in her hand.
I do love this place for that. And then he thinks really hard about a rum runner and some fresh beignets, which then get, I assume, brought out via the lovely Spirit Dijon hosts.
Kevin's already enjoying his spicy fish curry with rice and a glass of milk. The milk is whole milk today, because today's been a day.
Edgar, for his part, is already there, sipping on what appears to be a glass of hot tea and filling out paperwork in front of his briefcase, which is open, furiously.
Lottie's just gonna bounce in. Literally. Just bounce, bounce, bounce. She's in a particularly good mood today. She doesn't know why. She figures it's better than the usual days that have recently come to pass. And will bound her way to a table and request iced chai and baklava.
As people gather and get themselves comfortable, another figure who no one has seen before will enter the establishment proper. This is him.
Eyebrow raise.
There comes a moment when this individual enters, and there's just this look on Kevin's face like, man, I haven't seen this guy before. We know what happened the last time. I haven't seen this guy before. It's just the one eye this time. It's all right. I'll fix it. But the staring just starts like, there's almost an expectant look in his eyes. Like, what's it going to be, man? What's going to happen today?
He will take a seat at a table unless anyone actually chooses to interact with him.
If he passes by Lottie's table, she'll give him another smile.
I do hope that you will forgive an interruption to your evening, young lady, but I'm curious. Would you forgive my impudence if I asked where would be a suitable location for an individual such as myself to acquire a room for the evening?
He speaks with a very, very English accent. It's one of those colonial English accents that's picked up when you're grown up in an environment where English is the dominant language, but you yourself are clearly not English.
Gotcha.
Okay. Why do you kind of frown and think about it? Hey, Evan, would Agrabah have, like, rooms as an inn, or was it just an eatery?
It does, in fact, have rooms that can be accessed by people.
All right. Then with that knowledge, she can depart with him. The fact that if you inquire with one of the keeps here about maybe having a room for a day or two, they might be able to accommodate you if they have space. Just be genial with them. They're really good people.
Ah, thank you, miss. Well, my terrible manners. You will extend a hand. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hi, I'm Lottie, and she will extend her hand to shake. You make upset.
My apologies. My name is Albina Satra.
Albina Satra? Mr. Satra?
You know who he is.
Wait, she does?
100%. You and Callie know immediately who he is.
Oh, that's that guy. Oh, my.
He was the individual who you voted to take over the trial.
Yes! Oh! She wet in her eyes. Oh! Wait, Sasha, yeah, it's nice to see you. Do you want to take a seat? My table is wide open.
As long as I'm not interrupting or disrupting your meal.
Oh, no, I was just trying his really good baklava. It's fine. Order yourself some, it's great.
I ate before I left Marrakesh, but thank you very much for your offer. You will take a seat.
Can Lottie see Callie?
I mean, she's kind of lounging there, probably chatting to Collins, taking a drink. When the guy walks in, though, she has the immediate love. Like, I have not seen this guy before. Like, watching him all the way over, you know.
Lottie would kind of bite into her baklava with her other hand, kind of take out his phone and send a text.
Callie's flip phone vibrates, flicks open the message, like
Close
stands
her
up
phone
immediately,
and
like, oh.
Go back to her baklava, and kind of commenting on the style, just added pistachios, a little bit of lemon zest. Just kind of talk about how maybe apples wouldn't go good in this. It's the one thing she can't imagine apples would, but you know what? She'll be damned if she doesn't try it. It's kind of giving small talk, because she didn't think he'd be here so soon. Him.
Callie just walk over very casually, you know. Patting Collins' shoulder, like everything's good, you know, that type of pat.
Oh. By the way, who has spirit still active?
Me.
Every conceivable spirit you can think of in the room is crowded around this person, and they all appear to be very happy just kind of being in his presence.
Well, that's a quite chill side to normally what we usually see. So Callie relaxes noticeably. She's walking over.
I have to admit that I was rather surprised, and I must admit that the necessity of your letter was disconcerting. However, I am happy to have accepted in order to facilitate this difficult time for you all. He will look up as Callie approaches him. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Glad to give him a wave to Callie. Oh, hey, speaking of our correspondence, if I may introduce you, this is Kelly Brendan. She is one of the heads of the Verbena.
Ah, yes. I saw your signature. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You as well.
He'll extend his hand again.
No, she'll shake it, you know, quite chill, happy.
It is always disconcerting whenever these matters need to be dealt with, so I believe in keeping an area and an air of professionalism about them. I'm sure you understand.
No. Nods.
Well, mint tea, please. He will say as a mint tea, rather a teapot will form in front of him, made of white porcelain in a single china teacup. He will pour himself some tea, and he will then say, as I said, these are very trying things that one must do in order to see to it that these are very trying things that one must do, and I'm very sorry for my necessity in being here. I wish to stress that point to both of you.
Callion nod very fairly. Is a touchy subject, one that needs a delicate hand, so I appreciate the fact that you came in such short notice.
We do as well. I do confess this is a surprise. We thought there'd be more time, but good that such matters will be dealt with soon.
Ultimately, the longer these things are left to fester, I often find the worse the rot becomes.
That has been the ongoing issue, I think.
Yes. Well, nice to know that some things will be progressing.
Indeed. Your friend, he'll denote Kevin, has not taken his eyes off me since I entered. Have I offered you some offence, sir?
No.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. He'll extend his hand.
Kevin is forced to abandon his food for etiquette. He reaches over and shakes his hand. Kevin Grant of the Akashiana.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Alba Satra, Archmage of the Kavati.
Just a slow exhale. Good.
I'm come in order to, the Council of Dublin saw fit to ask me to adjudicate a trial, and so I find myself here. I do hope that there's no negative feeling engendered between us, sir.
As of right now, none at all.
Good. If it is possible, I was led to understand from the reports that I was given that you, Miss Bjornsson, that is how you pronounce your name, yes?
It's just not.
Back. I have returned.
I would ask, the accused is in your custody currently, yes?
Nod.
I would like to interview them myself before we begin formal proceedings.
I can arrange that very easily.
Wonderful, thank you. Have you a suitable location for the interview to take place?
Yes, it will be at my place of work.
Excellent.
We will, myself and my co-head will be present for safety reasons, of course, and procedure and all that.
As you say. I guess.
So, question: what was the last thing you guys heard from me? Because the last thing I heard was Callie stands up abruptly after getting a text message.
That's kind of where we left you. So
Okay.
I don't think we heard you say anything after that.
Okay. So Collins comedically falls over, his whole body hitting the pillows because he wasn't expecting Callie to stand up, chewed up like that. Doesn't spill his drink. Looks at Callie as she was standing, goes, "Who's that?"
She just whispered, leans down and whispers into her, "Someone very important, I'll be back." Just taps him on the shoulder.
Nod.
Collins,
he
do
will-
you have spirit side active?
Yes.
Every single spirit in the room is crowded around this guy, and they appear to be very, very happy about just basking in the presence.
Well then. I will go back to my beignet. I will go back to my rum runner. And I will not get in that man's way. Sip.
Has a suitable location for the trial been agreed upon yet?
Not yet. No, that is a matter of that the council must discuss. We are waiting for your arrival to pursue that. We wanted to make things all equal.
Absolutely. That is quite fine. It is always something. It's always a sad thing when these events need to take place. However, they are for the betterment of all, I suppose. Huh. He will sip his tea. My report didn't intimate. What is the name of the accused?
Yuki. I can never say Yuki's second name in
Kimura.
our character. Kimura, that's the one. Miss Yuki Kimura.
I see. Of the.
Euthanatos. Well, yes,
I see.
Euthanatos.
Yeah. I see. They have been informed as to the
Yes.
proceedings. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, their Hetzmara is also on the council. She understands as well.
Well, I do not believe in. He contemplates his next words very carefully. I do not believe in the legal tomfoolery that the Hermetics espouse in their legal processes. I'm sure you understand. I believe in simple, effective testimony, and I ultimately believe in justice for those individuals. And in cases like this, more importantly, for those individuals who may in fact become victims of the unreasonable actions or unreasonable conducts of those who are charged with said offences. So it will be hopefully a relatively short proceeding. Evidence will be presented, testimonies given. There'll be none of this to and fro of I object on these grounds. People will simply be allowed to speak. Evidence will be weighed and decision will be reached. I believe it's much more efficient than the legalese cut and thrust that some of our other honoured tradition members favour in that particular manner.
Nod. That is respectable. There has been a lot of toing and throwing, so it is good to see someone who is straightforward.
Yes.
Ultimately, as I said, I'm a reasonable man who unfortunately must do unreasonable things as it pertains. I did have a rather indelicate question that I will need to put before the council, and it is simply this. In the event my findings are positive and a punishment is needed to be given,
Mm-hmm.
in the case of infernalism, there are very few punishments that are ever given as it pertains to dealings with the beings of the abyss and the spiritual entities of the dark places, the dark dreams, etc. There's only a handful of punishments that are given. I'm sure you can understand which punishments these are. This is standard procedure. One thing I will need to ask the council, as it wasn't specified, is am I to carry out the sentence, or do you wish someone else to do so? If you could voice that to the council at some point, I would be grateful.
It's
We will
something that
certainly.
we've spoken on about, but haven't fully been able to dwell.
I'll do it.
Consequence is death, yes. It's almost
It's
The
always
matter.
Did Kevin just say sorry, did Kevin just say I'll do it?
Yeah.
I see.
Kevin.
Sips rum runner. Eats beignet.
Ultimately, Mr. Grant, was it?
Yes.
If the soul has indeed been touched, or if the higher essence has indeed been touched by the forces of the infernal, it will mean that I will need to check for the inversions of the essence, the inversions of the avatar, in order to see if it itself has been damaged. In the event it has, that will need to be dealt that will need to be dealt with. That is not a pleasant procedure, and it is one that I am fortunately able to perform should it be necessary. However, even in the event it is not, if the event the avatar is pure, the soul will inevitably be tainted. Making demonic or pacts with beings of the dark dream ineffably does this to the soul, you understand. They may be able to latch on and claim the soul after death. It's not uncommon. So, unfortunately, if it is indeed a verdict that pertains the ending of life, then it means that the soul, sans the avatar, must itself be consigned
Game
to.
over.
That would be a colloquialism, yes. I am happy in my capacity, should it be necessary, to do so. Happy is a bad term. My apologies. I would be forced to do so in my capacity. But if it is indeed you who wishes or believes it is appropriate to end her mortal life, then that is entirely upon you and the deliberations of this fine council, Mr. Grant.
Council will talk about it. Honestly, we're not exactly sure.
It is
But that's something we'll have to think about.
it is not common that a city has a designated individual who is forced to end life. You understand, it's not something that we value.
I think if in the case of this, she is found guilty, we of the council have a responsibility to make sure that punishment is dealt. We'll speak about it, but it must be a shared duty, then all the more for it.
For now, it is better to talk about it with the council later. There's no point in debating when we have not all of us together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm merely asking for clear procedure in the event of the worst happening.
Nod. No, I understand. It is an issue that we will discuss thoroughly with the council in our next meeting.
Yes.
Oh, of this I have no doubt.
Lottie's not even eating anymore. She's just cutting her baklava into little squares, just shredding it.
Sip, sip, munch on beignet.
Well,
Wishes for a chimichanga, gets one.
that's how life works here.
Chimichangas.
He will stand at this point and he'll say, I will go and see to accommodation. As I said, I've been awake for far too long at this point and I require rest. It was a pleasure to meet you. He'll extend his hand to first to Callie, then to Lottie, and then to Kevin, kind of shaking hands with you all.
Handshake.
Yeah,
Handshakes
she
occur.
They're polite.
If you will excuse me, in that case, I'll go and see to my room for the evening. It was a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances.
Yes. Do reach out when you are well rested and.
Oh, yes, if you need to contact me, one moment. He will take a business card out and he'll hand it down to Lottie. That includes his phone number.
I'll share this with the rest of the council as well.
Good. All right, then. I will wish you all good evening.
Good evening.
He will walk through the other flap out into another area of Agrabah Nights proper.
Lottie's just cutting her baklava into paste. It's more paste than baklava now. Gone is the delicious phyllo pastry. It is all just mush.
That's a terrible waste of a good dessert.
Shit, there weren't rooms here? Should have taken that advantage when I could.
Lottie is
Kevin goes
beyond
back to
caring for
eating.
this little dessert.
Kevin goes back to eating as though nothing happened.
Callie just casually sipped her beer bottle. Stone face.
Miss Callie, good to see you again.
She just inclined her head.
I take it some bad business is going on.
She just shrug. Politics. It's nothing that serious.
Ugh. There's a reason I stay out of them.
She just give a weary smile. Unfortunately, well, some of us has to get involved, but she just shrug. It's nothing serious.
That's
A lot of
fair.
strangers around here today.
Ah, terribly sorry. My name is Edgar Taft, sir. I believe your name was Grant. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Grant, I have met with Miss Callie before. After speaking with, while I was speaking with a Miss Eliza Hoff here some days ago. I apologize for not interrupting you and properly introducing myself.
Where do you hail from, Mr. Taft?
Texas.
Kevin just kind of quirks her brow. You an independent?
I'm here on business, but right now I'm working on a personal endeavor. He actually holds up the paperwork. I'm trying to start up something while I'm here. Looking to open up a bank.
You counsel or not?
I don't tend to mess with council politics.
Lottie's gonna pop on over. She heard Eliza. You know Eliza?
Yes, Miss Eliza was helping me get some information that I was asked to find out about from my boss.
Oh,
Well,
hope
to
she
be-
helps.
Yeah, she did. There's more information I had to find out. And speaking of, Miss Callie, did you look into the disturbance that you said was going on the other side involving that matter yet?
Not yet. It's a work in progress. Currently, the politics have taken up a bit too much of my time, but I shall be working on it soon.
Well,
I
if
tend
you
to find that politics have that effect on people.
Looks to new voice.
Yep.
It's a siren.
It's a siren.
Siren! Siren!
He looks as
Siren!
the phrase I'm going to use is for those who've met Master Siren. He looks as pale as milk. As a matter of fact, his color is comparable to the milk in Kevin's glass that he's slurping down so happily. His forearms are entirely bandaged, and you can see the remnants of dried blood on the outside of the bandages. And he looks as if he hasn't slept in days. Like the circles under his eyes are palpable. And when he moves, he's doing so with the aid of a stick. And when I say he's moving incredibly slowly, I mean he's taking a couple of steps, then having to rest, then having to take a couple of steps again.
So Collins is going to pop up on his feet with the quickness. He will set the drink down without spilling a drop. The powdered sugar from the beignets, however, well, that's now kind of everywhere. And it somehow looks like he has done 2 lines of coke as the powdered sugar settles just below his nose. Head over towards Master Siren. Where would you like to sit? Let me help you.
Oh, I'm quiet. Thank you. I'll just sit here. He'll kind of very gently lower himself into a pile of cushions next to a table.
As my strength to ass will do the best it can to support him going down, so he does not have to utilize much of his weight.
He's no, I was going to say Siren at this point. He's not that tall. He's only about 5'8", and you would guess he's probably only weighs about 110 pounds. Like, he is tight. Like under his
He's
robe,
a railing.
under his robe. You can feel his bones.
Lordy.
He will sit down and he will say, "Well, it would seem as though my apprentice is here."
Need to get
Lottie.
we need to get you a bowl of gumbo and some bacon, some red beans. We need I need to get you some healthy food in you.
He'll raise his hands and he'll show the fact that you'll see the fact that blood is covering the bandages, and he'll say, "Unfortunately, due to these, I have very little fine motor control in my hands. So,
That's fine. That's fine. I'll sit here.
are you actually going to spoon feed him?"
Yes,
Oh, well then. Okay.
because I have a very specific nature.
Does
And-
Collins have caregiver?
No, he has benefactor.
I'll give you a willpower back for that.
Okay.
But no, he's looking at Lottie, and he'll say, "Are you well, apprentice?"
Am I well? Well, such an answer does not come easily, Master Siren. It does not come easily at all. For you see, many things have happened in the past couple of weeks pertaining to at least your hurting in the library and then your horrific attack and other ensuing instances. Am I well? Well, you're sitting here. You're alive. That couldn't be better. Although I am furious, for all that you are, didn't even give a fucking number, Master Siren.
In my defense, you'll see he looks very tired at that. He'll say, "Where I was, young one, there was no mobile phone."
I know. How are you? You're still covered in blood. Not much change from the past 3 weeks, Siren.
This blood is fresh, or new, rather. Where I
That
was,
does not make me feel any better.
I was unable to keep many of my memories, and I could not bring anything else back with me through the gate. So, in order to remember anything, I could not write it on paper. He'll denote his own.
Oh,
I had to write it in a more
jeez.
permanent source.
Siren, you make me worry sometimes.
What's up?
Many times, all the time.
What's up?
Like right now.
What's up?
Are you talking to a dog? I think he's talking to a dog.
Yes, I was. I apologize.
What type of dog is it?
Boxer.
Oh,
boy.
but he will look up and he will say, "Yes." For the record, I will assume food will be brought for him, and Collins, you'll just have to cut it. You'll just have to cut it up for him. He can kind of manage
Yeah.
the stabbing motions.
Okay. Yeah, no, he will. That's why he ordered soups,
Oh, that's fair.
gumbo with things in small chunks, red beans and rice, and then Latin fluffy beignets because they're good for the soul.
That's fair. He will sit there and he will eat a little bit, not terribly much. You get the distinct impression he can't eat terribly much, even if he wants to. He's gotten to that point of starvation wherein if you were to try and force feed someone, it would end with a
Very
violent.
badly.
Yes.
Yeah. But he will say, "I don't exactly know what's been going on. Mr. Grant," he'll denote Kevin, "and a few others attempted to fill me in on certain elements of it. However, it's still all somewhat jumbled."
Yeah, I didn't know they met you beforehand. Didn't even know you were back in the city.
Well, I've been here for about a handful of days, 3 or 4 perhaps.
Lottie looks visibly stricken. Oh. Oh, okay.
As I said, I don't have a cellular phone here, so I couldn't exactly let you know.
I know. It's fine. It's fine. Master Sirens, get better. I'm been looking after library, so it's all good. Nothing's been on fire.
I greatly approve when nothing is on fire. It's
Unless when you do
rather
by
happy
accident.
thing. But yes, but my. It would seem as though you've all needed to be excessively brave.
Lots of stuff seem to have happened in a very small amount of time. And I
Yes.
think that's as much as I can say for right now.
I need no commendation for that which is expected.
Mr. Grant, trust somebody who is far older than you, and I would even venture to say possibly wiser. You can martyr yourself upon the annals of tradition or upon the annals of history if you choose to do so. However, doing so in public reprobatingly just simply makes you look like an ass.
Mind if I borrow Modus?
That depends what you want to borrow him for.
What's a modus?
He knows a thing or two about, I'm not going to call it a pandemic to be overly dramatic, but there's a rising amount of cult hitting the streets.
What is cult?
Some kind of new drug.
The eyebrow goes up.
There's a new drug I don't know about?
Looks like meth.
You still
Bit
have the
red.
picture on you if it helps.
Ugh.
Not going to reveal it just yet because he forgot it was on him. Might want to get rid of that soon.
I see.
So it looks like
Looks
meth.
like meth. It's tinged red. Last people caught peddling it were, for lack of a better term, leech slaves.
Ugh.
Leech
Oh.
slaves?
Oh, bother.
Jesus. The fuck is
Modus
in that
nearly
thing?
got killed over it. He
Have you been able
experienced a
to
couple
see
of
the-
things, dodged a couple bullets, and my people would just like to know about his experience. It's nothing aggressive.
No. For all the Ebon Dragon is, he's not actually, whenever he wants something, he'll ask for it politely first. Yes.
He does know his etiquette.
You may, of course, borrow Modus if you choose to.
He'll have me with him. He'll be fine.
I'm curious about this, and in what way is it different from ordinarily methamphetamine?
Well, funny you should ask. And Kevin digs around in his pocket and produces the baggie. If you want to have a look at it yourself, I can't make heads or tails of it.
I'll take a look at it.
I was going to say he'll
Yes.
kind of hold out his hand, but then the hand will kind of flop uselessly, and he'll be like, I need to
Lottie
remember
will
that I
take it
can't
for
do
him. Lottie will take it for him. Here. Put it so Collins and
Alright.
Siren can see
What,
it on for herself.
What sites, if any, are you guys using to look at it?
I'm going to be using Spirit Prime Matter.
Okay.
Also, you know what? Hell with it. I'll also kick it in with life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what is anyone else looking at it under?
Give me a sec.
You know, I'll take a gander and roll with my time sight.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do
Ooh.
time.
How far? Okay, this is actually important. How far back are you looking?
I have up to
Two.
time 2, so however
Future
far back
sight.
that'll let me.
Yeah.
Can
I'm
I
past sight. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Can I combine it and Prime as a gathered effect?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And okay, let me double check something.
Torno, what were you saying, dear?
I was going to combine time with correspondence when I was looking back.
Okay, cool. I'll do all of you individually. So, Collins, let me know when you get your sights up.
Okay. And then I have Spirit and Prime already active, so then
Can I use
Matter.
time and
Two
matter
things.
to see what the components were put together for?
Yep.
Alright, do that.
2 successes for me, sir.
All right. Do me a favor, Edgar. Before anything else, and before all the rest, it'll kick off at the same time. Roll me
Mhm.
willpower, difficulty 9.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Okay, give me just a moment to see what the fuck my willpower is because I don't remember. Okay, I don't have bad willpower.
Don't botch.
I'll try not to. I can't make any promises. I botch.
Oh, fuck me.
Like
No, you don't.
legitimate botch. Yes, I
No.
do. He did diff 9.
Oh
Mhm.
shit!
Yeah, I
Okay.
legitimately botch.
Okay. I'll describe what happens after these guys look at it under sights.
I think I need to put up an appropriate GIF, sir, and you tell me if I'm correct with this. Where is it? There's that one, and where's the last one? There we go, because I'm using Prime as well.
Unfortunately, that's not appropriate. You'll see in a second. All right,
Fair.
so who else is looking at it through time sight to try and see what happened to it?
Me. I'm also using correspondence too. So
Okay.
Give me a sec.
I will-
Tori, can you see your PM? Just got a question for you.
All my sites are active.
Okay. Torna, I gotta be that guy. Make me the exact same willpower roll.
oh boy. Oh,
Oh
boy.
Oh boy, bud.
boy.
Boy. Oh boy.
Oh lord,
boy.
what the fuck did you guys do?
I don't know.
They did things. Mistakes were made.
Mm-mm-mm.
Willpower. What's my? Oh, that's that many. Oh boy. Okay, difficulty 9. Sorry, Callie. Let's have some fun.
You've botched too.
Hey! Woo!
Excellent.
Yes.
Fuck a duck, dudes.
All right then. Okay, so Collins, what sites are you looking at it under?
Spirit, Prime, Life, and Matter.
It doesn't have a spiritual resonance. Spirit, Prime, Life, and Matter.
Yes.
It has a Prime signature.
Okay.
It's very faint. With Life, it has a Prime signature because there's a tiny amount of blood mixed into the actual
Drug itself.
Yeah, the drug itself. And Matter, it is crystal meth that has in fact been enhanced with some kind of Prime infused blood.
Okay.
All right, those guys
Give me
who
a sec.
failed. Okay,
Let's
cool.
see. Can I fucking burn a willpower or something? I'm terrified.
Oh, brain 2. Oh boy.
Burn one just to see. I mean, I don't have much, so.
I was gonna say you can't burn a willpower on a willpower roll. You can, however, burn a
Oh
willpower.
no, this is just for sights.
Oh, okay, that you can do, yes.
One.
On a side note, guys, 32 years ago today, Big Trouble in Little China came out.
Ooh. One of my
I'm
favorite.
happy with this fact.
It's a great movie.
So many of my character concepts are based on that movie. So many.
I am not surprised.
Nah.
What was this drug's name called?
Cult, spelled with a K.
Okay.
We're just waiting on Lottie.
I got one success. Do I have to do a willpower then?
Yes, you do.
Okay, let me find the willpower.
Oh no. You were looking at where it was combined together, weren't you?
Yeah, like what was the ingredients and stuff.
Okay, that's different. I'll
Sweet.
do that for you in a second. Callie and Edgar. How's it going, guys?
Let's
Yeah.
do this, Lig.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
going bad for them.
Hey, yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I say this with all the love in the universe. You guys behold a room entirely devoid of light, save for two glowing braziers that produce a green flame. There is a large box or sarcophagus at one end of the room, at which point you see someone walk up and withdraw a tiny amount of blood from the limb of this desiccated being that lays there. Then you look into its green, gray, yellowed eyes with snake-like slits, and it fills you with a terror and a horror you have never felt. Both of you will suffer heart attacks.
What?
Holy
Really?
shit.
That's
That's a botch, dear.
Holy
You
shit.
literally are scared to the point it can kill you.
Okay. I
So-
guess I need to roll my stamina.
No, how we do heart attacks here is you will each take, because I decided this when I gave Samira a heart attack. Coincidentally, she
That was
got a-
not fun.
No, it wasn't. You will each take 14 dice of lethal
Oh.
damage.
Of lethal?
Of lethal. There is a 50-50 chance it can kill you.
Heart attacks are deadly.
Holy shit. Hey, fuck it. Go for it. If Edgar dies, this is going to be funny as shit. Because you know what's coming next.
How did Edgar die? Massive heart attack. I would like. There will come a time when I will ask you to each roleplay this appropriately if you survive.
Okay, sure.
Edgar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Edgar, you take 6 lethal.
Okay. I will describe it in a second. Let's go ahead and get Torna's now too.
Torna, you feeling
Oh wait,
lucky?
wait. Does it matter because I have the elderly flaw that my stamina actually rolls are higher diff?
No,
Oh
it doesn't matter.
no.
Oh fuck.
You're all good. Wait, actually, important question. Do either of you have anything that will enable you to soak lethal?
No.
Let me double check. I don't even fucking know. This is kind of taking me off guard. I don't think so. No.
The daughter of death dying from a heart attack. Torna, no, don't go
Yeah.
this way.
No, that would be ironic, but I do not think I do. No, I do not. Fuck it. Give it to me. Let's do this. Oh boy.
How much ag rollover is that? Because like lethal, I know you don't die immediately, but you die really quickly if you don't get assistance.
Yes. Okay. What is going to happen is both of you, Torna, you took 10 levels of lethal. You're not dead. You will be dead very quickly.
Ho ho ho. You're mostly dead.
So, if both of you would like to roleplay exactly what happens.
You go first, Torna, because I gotta use the restroom real quick.
So Callie lets out this ear-piercing scream that like nearly shatters the window. She collapses, then gripping her chest, like vibrating and violently convulsing, like blood actually coming out of her